my job is to get people rooted and grounded in Christ, as the scriptures say. That's, to my mind, the job of the evangelist.
I feel I'm very much a sort of community relations person in a way, because I try to draw people together. Well, not only to draw them to Jesus, but to draw them to one another.
I'm concerned with the quality of life. That in some cases may be giving them a cup of tea or a bun or a bed for the night, and we've got plenty of beds. It may be concerned with a crucial point in their lives where they come to the point where they need to commit themselves to God.
I'm Michael Turnbull, Chief Secretary of the Church Army, a society with over 300 officers working in this country in areas as diverse as you can imagine. I'd like you to look with me at just 5 officers who, in their different ways, are seeking to preach and practice the Christian gospel today. Let's go first to Manchester to look at a project aimed at those living in a grim area of that large city. An area of redevelopment, of new skyscrapers and derelict wasteland. An area where, on the surface at least, there appears to be little expression of the Christian faith. There's a high degree of teenage crime and vandalism. Many of the children living here are in care. Truancy and unemployment are also high. This was the challenge which faced John Hochin when he came to Manchester to work on the Inner City project. Where did he begin?
The 3 main tasks I set were, first of all, to get to know the geography of the area, the needs of the area, and the attitudes of the people. The question I ask, where is God to be found? Traditional answers will say, in the sacraments, which is all well and good, but people don't come to church to receive the sacraments. The other traditional answer is in the beauty of nature. What with the rubbish tips, the muck and the filth of the area? No chance. We concentrate on schoolwork. We do at least 2 school assemblies a week. We go into a play school, which is like a play scheme, 2 evenings a week. We run 2 clubs, which are like Sunday schools, but they run in lunchtime, and the children come quite voluntary along to these clubs. We're involved with a day nursery, where we provide activities once a week for the children and also offer support to the staff of the nursery. We're involved with tenants groups and tenants associations, taking the chair at such meetings at times to show that through an act of witness and one's own lifestyle that there is something that can motivate a person to think positively and constructively, and thus to help people find a hope and a purpose to life.
Much of John's involvement is with existing care organisations which provide activities for the elderly, support for families under pressure, and helping in cases of practical need. In an area like this, the demands being made on the slender resources of caring manpower must seem at times to be overwhelming.
We find we offer a supportive role to staff of various organisations and centres, as well as to teachers in schools, because they feel sometimes at the end of the tether, and the fact that somebody's shown an interest in what they're doing. They've shown an interest in the work we're doing. And many a conversation has been had about our work, even on a more deeper spiritual level.
The work of the evangelist is rarely one of instant success, and there are more chapters of that story yet to be written. But now let's turn to something very different. Or is it? On the edge of Dartmoor, the Church Army has purchased an ex-farm complex called Sheldon, providing self-catering accommodation for groups or individuals wanting to get away for a holiday or a conference. But it's much more than just a holiday camp, as Carl Lee now explains.
In this situation, we're meeting something like 4,000 people a year, of which maybe about 1,500 to 2,000 are Christians. The other 2,000 aren't. And we have an immediate entree with all of them, immediate contact. A lot of our ministry is to people that are leaders of groups, and quite often non-Christians who, they may be teachers, quite often headmasters or social workers or whatever, who just need somebody sometimes to sit down and to be able to talk to them. Or for them to talk to us, it's more the case. One week it's a quiet week, and everybody is very meditative and quiet, and the next week it could be a load of kids charging around the place trying to pluck chicken when they're still alive. I mean, very often we have groups who go nosing around in our chapel and express some surprise when they know that we actually use it, which gives us an immediate opportunity just to say something without banging them literally on the head with a Bible and saying, there you are, there's all your problems solved. We can just say, well, that's us, you're you. But people learn to experience, and through experiencing other people.
Here is your God, here is your King. Let him come to you. Here is your God, here is your King. Let him wash you clean. See how he comes.
Part of the Sheldon land, there is a very natural amphitheatre, and the theatre will be developed into one that will seat 500 people. The Sheldon Theatre will be presenting and catering for family needs. Initially, at this stage, we are concerned with putting on a Christian presentation down there to communicate to Christians while they're on holiday. But essentially, it's there to communicate something of the gospel. We have a theatre company of our own, some professional people, musicians and actors and dancers, some or non-professional folk. They have been together for the last 6 months putting together this year's presentation. They will, I expect, put something on again next year. But in a lot of cases, like Sheldon is a place which you can hire for self-catering, the theatre will also be able to be hired out.
Here is your God, here is your King. Let him come to you. Here is your God, here is your King. Let him wash you clean.
Eileen Taylor is a Church Army sister working in a parish in Leeds. But from the outside there's nothing very traditional about the church where she is based. The building consists of a chapel which is used as the parish church, and a cafe to which people come for coffee and meals. A wide variety of activities take place at the centre, staffed voluntarily by members of the church. But don't some people think it strange that the church should be doing some of these things?
Well, I don't feel we're being gimmicky at all. I've certainly realised whilst being here that people have body, minds and souls, and we hope to cater for that, the whole person in that particular way, and we feel we're doing this just as Christ used to do it when he was here on earth. And I certainly don't think, if they come here every day for a meal, we'll get them into church. I don't see it in that sort of light. I hope indeed that they will. And certainly I can think of one elderly gentleman in his 80s who has been coming here every day for his meal for the last 5 years whilst I've been here. After being coming here for 2 years, he said to me, "I can see that Christianity works here." He said, "I'd like you to come round to my house sometime this week and tell me about Jesus." And I went round to his house, and we were able to talk about Jesus. And he gave his heart and his life to Christ that very day. And he'd been a spiritualist all his life, with strong connections with the spiritualist church. But he stopped going there. From that day forward, he's never looked back, and he started coming to this church every Sunday since. It's marvellous and refreshing. But this is how it works. But in the most natural setting, without forcing people to go from the cafe directly into the church or anything like that. For example, I've been here all morning since about 8:45, and there's been a steady stream of people, one after the other, come to see me about their problems, whether it be the electricity bill or a lady who's got an incontinent 13-year-old retarded daughter with problems, was always wetting the bed. Can I do anything about getting her a new mattress?
Good morning, St. Peter's Christian Community Centre. Sister Eileen speaking.
I still do a lot of visiting because I get phone calls from social workers, from health visitors, from social workers in hospitals asking me to visit people in this area. And I definitely take what opportunity I can to talk about Christ and the Christian way of life being a better way of life for these people. Because a lot of them who come with their problems haven't got a purpose in life and are seeking help and support. And I do it in the name of Christ, and I make no bones about this.
Eternally grateful to you, Jesus, for your life and for your love. Eternally grateful to you, Jesus, for the giving of your blood. I am eternally grateful to you, Jesus, for the coming of your dove.
Alan Dodds spent 5 years working in a parish in the new town of Crawley. His natural gifts and abilities of working amongst young people have been duly recognised, and now, although still based in Crawley, Alan has been appointed as a youth evangelist for that area of southern England.
I see my job much more in directly face-to-face work with young people. Although I will be doing some advisory work and training work, I must stay closely connected directly with youngsters. Otherwise, you've very little to say about them. You can't advise leaders about young people you don't know. The job has come about through invitation. I found that a very valuable aspect of a program is to take young people away. Sameness brings barriers. A change, for the young especially, can help to break through. I think churches could learn a lot from this, really. It should be not just for the young. Take a group away, put them in a different environment. You spend a lot more time with them, which you can do at a weekend. And it seems that they're so much more open, and therefore God can work. Simple as that. I have seen and still get letters from youngsters who went away from their ordinary environment into a house party situation or a camp, and are still going strong as Christians. Obviously one has some and knows of some who just for whom they have some sort of emotional experience, but that's all. I look to something deeper than that and hope and trust and pray that the kind of leadership in their groups will take them on from what they learn.
You are the Messiah. You are the Messiah.
Our last visit is to Leicester to meet Sister Daisy Martin. She spent many years working in Eastern Africa and now feels very much at home working in a multiracial community in Leicester.
Well, I suppose my main role is to show forth the love of Jesus to everyone, and to try and show them that he did die for everyone, regardless of creed or class or colour or religion or what have you. I do speak Swahili, and the Asians from East Africa mostly know Swahili, at least a smattering, and so I've been able to get into people's homes by just saying, Jambo Habari, oh, you speak Swahili, come in, you know, and so I've been able to break down barriers there. And I have an English class for Asian women that I've been running for a number of years, and so get contacts with their families. And I've been able to reach out to them in many ways. They welcome me, and I think they respect missionary societies. They've all experienced missionary societies in the countries from which they come, and Christian missions and hospitals and schools and so on. And I'm quite free to speak of Christian things with them. We've a number of Hindu children in our Sunday school, and so I visit their homes. And I have 3 homes now that I visit regularly, and we read the Bible together. Women they are. One is a Parsi woman, and the other 2 are Hindu. The Parsi woman has found no help with her own religion at all, and so she's really turned to Christianity, and she asks me how to teach her children to pray, and she really appears to be getting very close to Jesus.
Apart from her work amongst the Asian community, Sister Martin is also involved with those from a West Indian background. She is even part of a children's steel band.
Well, yes, I can play. Yes, I've learnt to play the various steel pans. I took it over, and so since then I've been the conductor and writing out the various bits of music that they have to learn. But we're going ahead, and we're getting quite well known in Leicester and beyond.
So we have seen 5 very different people working in 5 strongly contrasting areas of the country, each uniquely interpreting what it means to do the work of an evangelist. However they set about it, the essence of what they are trying to do is to bring others to a point where they can begin to trust their lives to Jesus Christ. And this, when you come down to it, is what the Church Army is all about.